Hey guys, May here, and today I am doing a collection update for my top two favorite groups, my first place groups, Super Junior and Infinite. So yeah, I decided to do it in two different parts this time. If you want to see the rest of my collection, I'll leave a link down below. But yeah, I am doing it in two different parts because I have about 100 Infinite and Super Junior CDs now, and that itself is just like a lot. I have Infinite set up this way, their Korean stuff. Then I have their live CD, only live CD, and then Japanese stuff and subunits at the end. So let's go ahead and get started. If I can sit down properly with all the Super Junior behind me. So Infinite's first mini album, First Invasion. Second mini album, Evolution. Third mini album, Infinitize. This has Dongwoo's Thanks To track on it. Then I have 2 copies of New Challenge, the 4th mini album. Yep. Then I have their first Korean single, In Spirit, which the pants were in Sunggyu's Control music video, which actually just reached over 1 million views today. And I am so excited, and he also won #1 today, and I'm just so proud of him. Destiny, their second Korean single. Then I have their first Korean album, Over the Top. Yep. Then I have Paradise, the repack of that. Season 2, their second album. And the repack of that, Be Back with the first press extra photo book. Then I have the only live CD they have released up until now. One Great Step Returns live CD. Beautiful, beautiful CD. Love this so much. I listened to it a lot during finals week. I love it. Oh my god, I love it so much. Then I have their Japanese stuff, which is where I'm lacking a little bit. I am going to do a Super Junior and an Infinite haul after I get back from my summer class, which is about 5 weeks long. So hopefully I'll be able to fill up all of the holes that I have in the Japanese stuff with that haul. But I'm like setting a price limit on both Super Junior and Infinite so I can get a pretty good amount of both. So yeah. I have their first Japanese single, BTD Japan. This is the CD photo book edition. This is version B. Some people like to call it version A, but I'm pretty sure the one with the DVD is version A. Then I have their second Japanese single, version C, the innocent version of Be Mine. And you can change the cards. This isn't Sungyu's random card, it's just him. I got Hoya in that, but it's not in there currently. Then I have their third Japanese single, She's Back, the first one that I've completed. So here's the normal edition and the limited CD plus DVD plus gorgeous, gorgeous photo book edition. Then I have their first Japanese album, which had those 3 singles on it. This is the normal edition. And I have 2 copies of the limited edition. One has Wooyeon's photo book, and one has Myungsu's photo book. Myungsu's is up for trade for Sungyu's if somebody's interested, but only up for trade. I'm not selling it. And then I have their 4th Japanese single, Last Romeo Japan. This is the CD only normal edition, and this is the CD photo book edition, version B. Yep, look how pretty they look on the inside. I actually really like the version A cover, so that's like top of my list priority. Right after, I'm missing the CD DVD edition, but this is the normal edition. So yeah, I need to get the CD DVD edition of that, and then that single will be completed too. That only had 2 versions, like She's Back. It only had 2 versions. Then I have their newest Japanese single. This is 24 Hours. I almost called it Dilemma. That's Dilemma. 24 Hours. So here's the CD DVD version. I have an unboxing of all 9 versions on my channel, so if you want to go check that out, definitely do that. Then I have the CD only edition. And then I have the CD plates, so Sunggyu, they all look like this on the back. Dongwoo, Wooyeon, Hoya, Sunggyu, Myungsu, and Sungjong. So yeah, so I have 3 Japanese releases completed. Yeah, 3. Got a lot of work to do in this. There were 2 other versions in BTD, 3 other versions in B mine. That's good, that's good. 1 version in that, 1 version in that, and then that's good. So, a lot of work to do. Then we have their subunits, and I have their subunits in slash solos, whatever. I like to consider Sunggyu a subunit. And yeah, so I have them in debut order. So here's Sunggyu's first album, Another Me. And the bag that goes along with that, it's kind of hard to see, but it does have the like a similar font to the actual CD. Yep. I don't have a second album yet. It just got on a plane today, so hopefully it'll be here soon. Then I have Infinite H's first album, Fly High. And their second album, Fly Again. Then I have Two Hearts, which has Key from SHINee in it, but because Wooyeon is one of my 2 biases in Infinite, I'd keep it with my Infinite releases. Even though it was SM who released this album, I like to consider it part of my Infinite collection, so yep. Then I have Infinite F's releases. So for the Japanese release, I have the normal edition. It looks like on the back. I got this and I thought it was version A, and I was like, wait, but yeah. I like to consider that the front. Then I have version B, the CD photo book edition. And I'm missing version A for that as well. And then, just because I didn't have money at the time, it was really sad. And then I have their Korean release. So, yep. So that is it for Infinite stuff. So now I have my Super Junior stuff all lined up right here. And we're gonna go through Korean stuff, and then we'll do Japanese stuff, and then come back over to all the subunits and fun stuff over here. So, first thing I have is, well, this should technically be second, but 2006 Snow Dream, SM Town, which I consider part of my Super Junior collection because I bought it for Super Junior. Then I have their first album, Twins, Super Junior 05. First single, You, first Korean single, because their singles are very strange. Not a fan of how their Japanese singles work. Then I have their second Korean album, Bangtan, version A. And I have the CD DVD repack. Yep. And then I have their third album, version A. And I recently got version C as a birthday present. So yay, I'm so excited to have version C, so I just need version B, which is actually my favorite cover of the 3. So yeah, and then I need the CD only repack for that. I don't remember if I said that or not. Then I have the 4th album. This is a illegal copy that my dad got me. He didn't know. He just was like, oh, that's the right album. There you go. And then I have the legal editions. So here's version A with this cover. And version A with the other cover with the other 5 members. During SM's era where they thought that was good packaging. It's not good packaging. Then I have version B of that album, which is the first album I ever bought for myself, I believe. Yeah, it was this one. It was either this or the repack. So here's the repack, the 4th album. Then we move on to the big stuff, which started in the 5th album. So for the 5th album, version A, I have Donghae's cover and Kyohyun's cover, and they both look like, if my wire will get out of the way, this on the back. Yep. The insides are different too. It's been a long time since this album came out, so some of you might not know. But this is what the inside of Donghae's looks like. And the inside of Kyohyun's. I didn't mean to get 2. It just kind of happened that way, and now it just makes me want more. I really want Heechul's, and I really want Sungmin's too, and Hyesungs, and yeah, it was a bad idea. But that wasn't my fault. It was an accident. Kind of, sort of, not really. And then I have version B of that. I actually had 2 version Bs at one point. One of these I got the group card in, the other one I got Donghae's card in. The other one was very, very broken though, so I just ended up throwing it away. It was like beyond repair broken. Then I have Acha, the repack. And then I have the 6th album, Sexy Free and Single. This is, I believe, the blue font, but I wasn't really too concerned with what color font I got, so I was just like, give me whatever you want, it's fine. Then I have 2 copies of version B, because that's kind of how it always works out. And the repack Spy. I think Acha is my favorite repack, but this is a close second. I really like this one as well. And then I have their 7th album, Mamacita. This is actually a misprint version. If you're wondering about that, you're one of those people who wonders about that. This is a misprint version. So is that one. I have 2 copies of this. And then version B. And Donghae's cover version of the 7th album repackaged. I want to get more of these 2 because the photo books inside are like the Exodus photo books in the sense that they're like different. I say Exodus because I feel like a lot of people understand what I mean when I say that. Then I have their Super Shows. So I have Super Show 3, the 2 CDs there, and Super Show 4. Yep. And then for Super Show 3, I also have the photo book. I always forget to show this in my collection videos, but I do have the photo book for Super Show 3. It was a birthday present from a friend a long time ago, like back when I lived in Seattle. And I love her for it. Then I have their group Japanese stuff. Please don't hurt me. This is so sad. Compared to that, this is so sad, and it makes me, because they have so many more Japanese releases too. So I have Mr. Simple. This is a CD only version. I have Elf version of Opera, the Elf version of Sexy Free and Single, and the Elf version of Hero, the 2 CD plus DVD version of Hero. Then I have Blue World, both versions of that. I don't have the Elf version for that because I'm a bad person. And Sexy Free and Single, the limited edition, and Mamacita Japan limited edition. So I keep the cards for SFS Japan in my binder, so that's why they're not there. Now we get to go all the way back over here, hi Steph, and go through the subunits / soloists. So let's do soloists first. Okay, so we have Henry with Trap, and we have Henry's Fantastic. I want a Henry comeback, please. Then I have his 2 Japanese singles. He didn't get an Elf version because unfair treatment. No, it's because he's technically an SJM member, and so he doesn't get Elf versions, whatever. So I have both versions of that. I want Elf versions for Henry too. Then I have Chomi's solo album, which is so nice. I love it. Rewind. Then I have, technically this is next, Kyuhyun's solo album, Akwangwamun. I think I said it right that time. Yeah, go me. Then I have MND's most recent release. The Trax member is in this too. Jungmo from the Trax is in this too, but I count it towards my Super Junior collection because I don't have a Trax collection, so by default it goes to Super Junior. Then I have subunits besides D&E. They get their own pile because I have a lot of D&E stuff. So KRY, hopefully this will be expanding soon. So this is the CD-DVD version of Promise You and the CD-only version of Promise You. I don't have the Elf version of Promise You. I'm sorry. Then I have Super Junior Happy, Cooking Cooking. I don't believe there is a Japanese version of this, but if there is, then I'm gonna get it. But I know there's a Japanese version of this. So, Rokuko by Super Junior T. So I'm definitely getting the Japanese version of that. Then, Supergirl, the first mini album. Second mini album, Perfection. These both have Japanese things too, so I need to get those. There's also a repack of that I need. And then Super Junior M Swing, their third mini album. And then first album, Super Junior M. Then I have Super Junior M's Breakdown, their second album. So for Super Junior M, I'm technically not missing that much, but I am getting the Japanese things, so yeah. Because they're pretty, I can't say no. Then I have D&E, The Beat Goes On. And the special edition of The Beat Goes On, which is actually one of their newer releases, but it's Korean, so I put it on the top. Out of the way. Then, for Japanese releases, I'm okay on this. I have a decent D&E Japanese collection, but there's also holes in it, like everything else. The only thing I'm kind of good on is the Korean releases for Super Junior. It's really sad. And the soloist. I got the soloist down. Yes, go me. Then I have D&E's Opa Opa's CD only version. This is actually one of the first Japanese things I ever bought, so I was like, what do I want? I guess I just want this one. And but then for I Wanna Dance, I got all 3 versions. So here's the CD DVD version, the CD only version, and the ELF version. Then I have Ride Me, their first album. So here's the CD only version and the CD DVD version. Don't have the ELF version for that. I believe it was really expensive. Well, ELF versions are always expensive. And I just didn't have money for it at the time, so I'm gonna go get it, I promise. Then I have Skeleton. So CD only version of Skeleton, CD DVD version of Skeleton. I also have 2 posters from Skeleton. I don't know if I've ever mentioned that to you guys. Well, it was in my unboxing, but I think. Then I have their newest release, their first mini album in Japan, Present, which is actually probably one of my favorite releases they've done so far in Japan. This is really nice. So, CD DVD, CD only, and the ELF version. So I'm missing a lot of stuff for Super Junior. I am. I just spent like 10 minutes going through everything I have for Super Junior, but it's still a pretty lacking collection, and I'm kind of disappointed in myself for that. But I am very proud of what I do have, because for a while I barely had anything from Super Junior, and I like still had, you know, all of those things, all of the other CDs, and so I was like, you know, it's time to step up the Super Junior game, and I started buying, you know, I went through, bought all the A versions, and now I'm going back and buying all the other versions. You know, for the most part, I do have a lot of their Korean stuff, minus a couple extra versions I want to get, and, you know, that kind of stuff. But they have such a big collection of stuff. If you could see my Excel spreadsheet of all of the Super Junior stuff I still need, it's just so much. But like I said, I am going to do a Super Junior Infinite haul video soon. Not soon, but you know, I'm gonna do it before the summer's over, and I'm going to get almost everything everything I'm missing from Infinite is the goal. Get everything I'm missing from Infinite, because it's pretty easy to go get everything I'm missing for Infinite. Get the Korean stuff done. I'm missing 3 Korean releases technically. Which doesn't include all the subunit, but I'm just missing the repack of SJM's mini album for that, or the other version of Perfection. Was it a repack? I don't know. And the Japanese stuff for that. And then for Japanese stuff, I want to get their first couple of singles done. They have a couple like pre-single releases. I kind of want to get all the way up until Bijin, and then, because I feel like after Bijin, I kind of started figuring things out a little bit more, but I do want to have every version of all the Japanese singles and the ELF versions, and hopefully they don't release another Japanese single this summer. That would be helpful if they could just shh. But they are going to have a Korean comeback during the summer, so are they. So it's actually pretty terrifying right now, and I actually am very scared because Infinite's comeback got moved to July because of Sungyu's promotions. Like I said, I love Sungyu's album, and I'm so excited for Sunggyu, but I was excited to get my OT7 back in Korea, so, you know, whatever. Well, I'm gonna get him back eventually, so I'm not that upset. I'm not upset at all. But the thing is that they might be coming back at the same time as these guys. I've never done that before. I've done kind of back-to-back promotions, like Infinite released something, then Super Junior came back like a month later. It's gonna be interesting, or like at the same time promotions. Oh my god, who do I vote for on music shows? Who do I vote for on music shows? I won't vote. I just won't. I won't vote. You can't make me choose between these two. Which is why they're both my #1 groups. I love them. I love every group I collect. Even if I only have one album from them. I love them. I spent money on them. I love them. But these two have always just had a special place in my heart. Super Junior, from the second I found them, I knew they were going to be dangerous. I knew they were going to kick the first K-pop group I ever had out of their #1 spot, and they did pretty easily. Even though I still love that group to death as well. And then Infinite, the second they debuted, I was like, oh, I like them. And then they came back with BTD, and I was like, they're dangerous. They're very dangerous. And they've just kind of stayed. They just kind of snuck their way up to #1, and I just didn't even know. And now I have 2 ultimate bias groups with multiple subunits each, and both very active in Japan, in both their main groups and their subgroups. So, yay for Japan stuff. Okay, so that was my Infinite Super Junior collection. I have 99 here as of right now, but I will have 100 when Sunggyu's album gets here. It's coming with Monsta X's album, which is why it's taking longer, because Monsta X's album was released a couple days after Sungyu's album. So, but I wanted to buy it with something, so that turned out pretty good. And then I have, you can look in the description box for other things I have coming. But like I said, I have these huge goals for Infinite and Super Junior this summer. So like while I have a lot of other things on my list, I really want to get those things done. So there might be a couple things I have to push to getting in the fall when I get back to school. But it shouldn't be too much. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Bye.